Now let's take a look at some of the characters we're going to meet in this story. And the first few characters we're going to look at are part of the group of gods, sages, devas, and rishis. A few words we're going to be, or a couple of words we're going to be looking at: sages and avatars. Listen and see if you can hear these words as we meet these characters. What is a sage and what is an avatar? So, the first character we're going to be looking at is Vishnu. There he is. And you can see the pronunciation of his name down here, Vishnu, just like it looks like. Let's read about Vishnu. Vishnu, the supreme god of justice and cosmic referee. Looking after the entire universe would be a big job if you weren't as handy as Vishnu. If one of his infinite hands isn't busy fixing something in the universe, he's probably listening to his people's prayers. In the Hindu Trinity, which is made up of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, Vishnu represents cosmic preservation. As such, the blue god of justice has 10 avatars that appear through time to help preserve and uphold justice whenever it's threatened. There's that word, avatar. Just like his plethora of hands, Vishnu has 1,000 names, which are all auspicious words and symbols of his pervasive essence. All right, we saw our word, avatar. What does it mean, avatar? Let's keep going. The next person or character we're going to meet is this guy. What's he doing? Blowing? Blowing kisses? To her? Let's read on. This is Vayu. The elemental god of wind and air. Well, that explains it. He's blowing air. Despite Vayu's divine nature, he is no less driven by his lust and passion, which blows as far as his winds. The god sires many illegitimate children, but endows only one very special heir with his divine gifts. That child would be the loyal monkey Hanuman, which is why the Vanara has the ability to fly. After Vayu catches sight of Hanuman's mother, Anjana, the wind god transforms her into a beautiful human for one night, and the product of their union is Hanuman, who eventually dwarfs his own father in his exploits. Vayu has a lot of children, and one special child is Hanuman. He can fly. Let's see. Let's keep going. The next character we meet is this guy. What is going on with him? He's got 4 heads. Let's keep reading and find out. Oh, this is Brahma. The 4-faced creator deity is also part of the Hindu Trinity. But unlike Shiva or Vishnu, who both have thousands of temples and millions of devotees, Brahma is virtually ignored. Blessing Ravana with his cosmic powers doesn't keep Brahma from being cursed with a lack of worship and reverence on earth. Nor does Brahma's behavior after he is finished with his finest creation, his own beautiful daughter. The deity begins lusting after her and sprouts 5 heads to always keep watch of her. And that is until Shiva gets wind of it and cuts off one of Brahma's 5 heads to keep the god under control. Well, that explains his 5 heads, or his 4 heads, I should say. He wanted to keep an eye on his daughter. But sadly, Nobody worshipped him on earth. He was virtually ignored. Who's next? This guy looks peaceful. What's his story? Is he praying? Vishvamitra, a Brahma Rishi, or enlightened priest, and the spiritual guide of Rama and Lakshman. But Vishvamitra wasn't always so pious. He starts out as a warfaring king who curses and kills many to rise to the throne. But after a chance encounter and humbling fight with another guru named Vasishta over his mystical cow, Vishvamitra sees the error of his ways and retreats from society to perform penance. After enduring hundreds of years of austerity, Vishvamitra reaches the rare status of Rishi. The creator god Brahma, who we just read about, personally bestows honor upon Vishvamitra and gives him a new mission. His assignment is to train the avatar Rama for his future ordeals. The kind Rishi winds up recruiting both Rama and Lakshman and patiently teaches them all the wisdom he has acquired. He's like a teacher. Interesting. But he wasn't always a teacher. He used to be a king who killed a lot of people. He changed his ways. Good for him. Who's this guy? He's got a very long bow and arrow. He looks very old. Agastaya. Agastaya, the forest monk and sage. There's that word, sage. What's that? Here, let's underline it. It's that word, sage. Who gives Rama the golden bow and arrow of Vishnu. According to legend, the sage politely asks a mountain range to lower itself so that he can relocate to the jungle of South India, because he knows the avatar of Vishnu will eventually pass that way. Agastaya keeps the special weapons of Vishnu under his watchful eye and patiently awaits the day when Rama will cross his path. Upon finally meeting Rama, the sage instantly knows that the prince is the blue god reborn, and he is confident in giving Vishnu's bow and arrow back to their rightful owner. That other word we saw, avatar, is in this description as well. This avatar of Vishnu. Avatar of Vishnu will eventually pass this way. Must be some kind of person or character. What does it mean to be an avatar? I'm going to have to look that word up. Well, there we have it. Our first few characters, gods, sages, devas, and rishis. Again, what is a sage and what is an avatar? We're going to be hearing those words a lot, I can tell. Plus a lot of words that I've never heard before. We're going to learn a lot in this book.